Do some stuff about Raspberry Pi, like make a Raspberry Pi.
Gosh, I hate when I say the same thing twice. You idiot, you fool, you're a moron, you're worthless.
I think I'm like really dumb. Welcome, Trendos and Friendos. Welcome to Trending Trends Trend with Benjaja. That's me, you are you, we are all humans, and we are on the same page about that. Welcome to the daily show where we jump into what's trending every single day. We get up before everybody else and we do it first, and we want to be first in line for the ice cream truck man Oberto. Thank you so much. If you are new to this channel, this is your first time here, well, welcome to the channel. I'm going to give you a little song. I'm working on the song and I want to give it to you. And it goes like this. My name is Benjaja, comedy's what I do. I'm going to be more vulnerable so I relate to you. Sometimes I'm feeling lonely, sad, mad, angry, depressed, lazy, scared, anxious, reluctant, fat, dishonest, lousy, poor, worthless, stupid, pathetic, empty, despondent, hopeless, lethargic, lugubrious, and simply put, uninspired. I just laugh it off. I'm a silly bitch. I'm more than the pain I've acquired. Be grateful for your health, your family and friends. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Benjaja, but you can call me Ben. Anyway, that gives you a little taste of who I am, what I do, what I'm doing here on this planet Earth. Thank you for coming to the show. So subscribe. We're going to watch today. We've got the Unbreakable Ice Cream Safe, how to make cool stuff. I made a class with Mark Rober, one of the best YouTubers there is. So we're going to watch this video, hang out, have a good time. And please check out my other videos, my comedy sketches that I make. I write them, produce them, direct them, shoot them, edit them, compose the music. And those are kind of like my little puppy babies, my little guys that I like so much. All right, here we go. Let's watch the video. At the end, I'm gonna do a shout out. Just letting you know, at the end, I'm gonna do a shout out to a commenteer. And then at the end, we're also going to rate the video, so stay till the end. Okay, here we go.
In exactly 1 week, I'll be releasing the Glitter Bomb 3.0 video. It's got a bunch of new features, and it turns out even in 2020, there were no shortage of package thieves that involuntarily volunteered to test all those new features out for us.
Oh my god, is it glitter? Yeah! Oh my god!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1.
But this video isn't that. I'm making this video to tell you about something I've poured my guts into for almost a year, and it's like the biggest thing I've ever announced on my channel. But first, I have a confession, and that's I love ice cream. It's just objectively the best food that there is. But there's two problems with that. Number one, I have no impulse control to keep me from eating this entire tub in a single day. And number two, other people in my house also love it. So we are competing over a scarce resource. So I came up with an invention to protect the ice cream from my poor impulse control and other people in my house at the exact same time. And here it is. Do you see it? Of course you don't, because that's the first line of defense in action. It's camouflaged in this bag of frozen vegetables. But even if someone in my house were to accidentally stumble upon this bag of vegetables, this is what they'd find. It's impossible for even the world's strongest person to remove this lid, because it's clamped on with a 1/4 ton of force, and yet there are no buttons, latches, or locks. And it works because the lid and the base are made from different metals. So you place the carton right in the base, and then the lid just snugly slides on at room temperature. But when I put it in the freezer, the anodized aluminum lid shrinks 50% more than the stainless steel base does, essentially fusing them together. The trick then is to just run room temperature water over the lid, because when you increase their temperature, aluminum also grows 50% more than steel. And this solves my impulse control issues, because it makes me wait at least 30 seconds to think if I should really eat this ice cream. And in this case, yep, I definitely should. This idea just occurred to me one day, so I made it. And that's the thing I love about being an engineer. If you have an idea about a thing, and that thing doesn't exist, you can just will it into existence. So here's my big announcement. I have been secretly working for nearly a year to create a month-long course that will teach you to use engineering and science to bring your own creative ideas to life. We structure this course in such a way that it covers my entire creative design process while still being easy to follow and digestible. And this really is my entire process. You'll follow along with me as I create 3 different brand new builds, starting all the way from just coming up with the idea in the first place. So for example, for one of the 3 projects in the class, the design challenge is just some kind of build that has to do with habits. So it either helps enforce a good habit or breaks a bad one. And as you'll see in the class, as I was stepping through the brainstorming portion of the engineering design process, it occurred to me, what if I could build something that could do both at the same time? Before this, I never actually known how to solve a Rubik's Cube, so this seemed like a worthy good habit. So every time I do it, I can just set it in this really cool retro blender I found on eBay that's also just camouflaged in my kitchen, and then it will check to see if I solved it correctly when I turn it on. And if I did, then the back pops open and I get rewarded with my favorite candy, which if it weren't locked away, I would eat every time I came through the kitchen because, again, no impulse control. And normally on my channel, whether it's an automatic bullseye dartboard, or the world's largest Nerf gun, or Super Soaker, or a Ninja Warrior obstacle course for squirrels, it's just me presenting the final thing, and then you get to see it in action. But for this class, I pull back the curtain, and you get to see the creation process unfold in real time. You get to see all those aha moments, the hundreds of little decisions that lead to the final build, as I talk you through my thought process and the techniques and tools that I'm using as I use them. But by far the coolest part is you get to practice this process yourself, and that's where the true learning occurs. Together, we'll follow the engineering design process side by side. No matter what your starting skill level is, the course is designed so that by the end of the month, you will leave the class with 3 original creative builds of your own that you can proudly show off to the world.
This is so cool because this is like a product for you to educate yourself, be creative, and then apply your own apply what he's teaching you to like the things that you're interested in, or the things that you're interested in. I just said that. Oh gosh, I hate when I say the same thing twice. But it's okay, Ben. I'm trying to be more kind with myself, right? Anyway, it's like when it's like if a friend does something wrong or makes a mistake, I'm always like, oh my gosh, Miguel, it's gonna be okay, man. You're great. Don't worry about it. Go on, brush your shoulders off. You're good. But if I make a mistake, I'm like, you idiot, you fool, you're a moron, you're worthless. Like it compounds. Anyway, we're typically much nicer and more forgiving for our friends when they make mistakes than we are for ourselves when we make mistakes. Anyway, this is so cool that Mark is establishing this education system. I feel like while everybody's at home, we're learning how to do things remotely, and this is just a really great way to create something that's gonna help other people and inspire other people to create. So super duper cool. Let's continue watching.
In the class with you so you can learn together and get feedback, and I'll be in there sometimes too, leaving comments and video responses on people's work. And so just to give you a little flavor of the class, here's like a 60-second sneak peek.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
The first build is mechanical. Here
Okay.
are my 5 requirements now. We want to make sure we have a bunch of different starting points. What's the right arc that this should have? Each time it spun around, PVC pipe here. I don't even know what this is for in real life, but it's small, it's cheap. My work is I'll just raise the back of the catapult up, and that will give me a different launch angle. 3, 2, 1, launch. And then this comes all the way back, and then boop, and it comes down. This makes sense in 2D. Now I've got to take this 2D and like map it to the 3D here. It's a shear load, it's not like a tension load. So that may be enough. You get a force going back that way, goes through the eyelet, and then comes back to me. Captures it, fires, lovely. It impacts on this shoulder right here. It's a dice roll at every gate, basically. So the fewer gates you have, the less complex the system is. The fewer moving parts, always the more reliable it's going to be. Oh, baby! Got it! It's basically like us hanging out together as I walk you through my entire process. In fact, if you combine all the videos in the course, it's longer than the combined time of all the videos I've uploaded to YouTube in my 10 years on the platform. And the goal of the class is not just to expose you to all the tools and techniques that I use, but to teach you to think like an engineer. But like in the good way, not in the way that makes my wife frustrated when we have to talk about feelings. And the process I'll be teaching you is the same process I used at Apple as a product designer. It's the same process I used at NASA to help build the Curiosity rover, and it's the same exact process I use every month on all my YouTube videos. We'll cover mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, 3D printing, prototyping, CAD, Arduino and Raspberry Pi, the scientific method, and so much more, including how to tell a great story around your build and give it...
Talk about Raspberry Pi? Did he just say they're gonna do some stuff about Raspberry Pi, like make a Raspberry Pi, or just think about Raspberry Pi? Or did he just say Raspberry Pi to get somebody's attention, like my attention? I mean, my attention was there, and that's why I heard Raspberry Pi. What was he saying? Is that like an app or like some software that I don't know about? What's Raspberry Pi? Where do I get a Raspberry Pi? Should I make a Raspberry Pi? These are all things that I should probably be talking to myself. Last home stretch. Home stretch, here we go. He's really smart, like really super duper mega smart. Wow. Okay. So the other day, sorry, I almost started again. The other day, I told my girlfriend, I was like, I think I'm like really dumb. Like not like, haha, I'm dumb, like dumb. I had this moment, but it made me laugh because, you know, it's like big deal. So what? We're all a little dumb, at least a little bit.
Will naturally want to share it. And if you hear all that and you're like, that's way over my head, don't worry, because hopefully you trust me enough by now to know that I love to try and take these really complex things and break them down to their most basic elements so that they make sense even for someone just starting out. Now, to be clear, if this is your first time dipping your toes in the water, I'm definitely not promising that by the end of the month you'll be making like fully functioning glitter bombs. But you will have a fundamental understanding of how a mechanical and electrical build like this works, and exposure to all of the steps and processes by which something like this is made. Like,
I want to
no
do
element of this glitter bomb that we don't at least somehow touch on in the class. We really tried to design the course so that anyone could create at the edge of their abilities, whatever they currently are. Now, if you're an adult or a professional engineer, I'm confident you will get a lot out of this class. But on the other end of the spectrum, a question I've already been asked is what's sort of the right minimum age level where it won't feel overwhelming? And I'd say for sure anyone like high school or above will be fine. Having said that, I've met some pretty precocious 8-year-olds that are already into building and electronics, and I think they'd be fine too. Otherwise, this is a great month-long activity for maybe a parent and their kid, or even a whole family to tackle together. At the end of the day, if you're not quite sure, you could just sign up to test it out and then get a full refund up until day 5 of the class. The company I partnered with is called Monthly, and they're great. They specialize in these month-long accelerated learning courses, and their user satisfaction ratings are super high across the board. So you can feel confident this would make a great holiday gift, or just a fantastic way to start the new year by making a resolution to learn some new skills that will serve you for the rest of your creative life. So if you're looking for a new hands-on way to bring your creative ideas to life, or if you've always been interested in science and engineering and want to further invest in this interest, or if you're just a more experienced engineer looking for a fresh way to do things, then this class is for you. Just go to monthly.com/MarkRober or use the link in the video description to check it out and then enroll in this month-long learning experience with me. I know what's in the class, and I promise you won't regret it.
Sweet. Okay, while we're here on his page, let's like it. Let's subscribe with the subscribe. Here, we'll click unsubscribe just so we can subscribe again. That's always fun. And let's subscribe there, hit that bell. Yeah, we want to know when things are happening. Okay, cool. Let's get that out of here. Plank. He's awesome. That's it. Okay, so we've got a Easy Work commented an hour ago. This is a shout out. This is a shout out to Easy Work. Why are people not seeing through this? ? I don't understand. Yes, I'm doing this as a way to find new audience members, subscribers, followers to watch my other videos that I create. If you get introduced to me through something that you're interested in, for example, this Mark Rober video, you might not know who I am. But then because you're interested in Mark Rober, you watch this video that this guy made because you're interested in Mark Rober, and I just happen to be the video with the thumbnail that you clicked on that's a reaction. So by you clicking on this video, you get to then hang out with me and get to know me a little bit, and then that might make you interested in the other things that I'm doing. If this were the only thing that I'm doing, it wouldn't have to me that much artistic integrity, truth be told. I think that I've always been somebody that likes creating original products, original songs, original videos, original sketch comedies, original shows. And I believe in myself so much, just like Mark Rober believes in what he's doing. I believe in myself so much that I believe I'm going to host the Oscars in 2030. It's crazy. I believe that. But how do I get there? If I'm making all this really funny content, which I am, you should check out my other videos. But if I'm making all this really funny content and nobody's seeing it, because if I make a comedy video that's about a girl going to the beach and she's lost at the beach, there's not many people out there that are interested in getting lost at the beach. I think that people want to be entertained, and we'll do anything to be entertained, and if we can get free content, then we'll do it. Okay, this has gone on for too long. I'm calling it. The little squirrel that's inside me that runs my whole life is telling me that I gotta stop talking right now. So thank you for coming to this video and this channel and checking this out. Please like, comment, subscribe, jump into the Ben Force. I want to help create more comedy in the world. There's a lot of suffering going on, and when we're not laughing, it's easier to suffer. I want to create more laughter, create more opportunities to get out of suffering or to avoid suffering at all costs. When you feel like life isn't going to get any better, just know it always gets better. Stay good. Ben Force. I'm a little giraffe man. Blast off. But then this moment where it's awkward.